What if I told you that one of the bravest cartoon characters ever created is also the most afraid? When people hear the word courage, they usually imagine someone fearless, confident, and strong, someone who charges into danger without hesitation. But Courage, the cowardly dog, challenges that idea completely. Courage is a small pink dog who screams at the slightest threat, runs away from danger, and often looks like he is seconds away from having a nervous breakdown. He panics, overthinks, and expects the worst in every situation. At first glance, Courage does not seem heroic at all. In fact, he seems like the opposite of a hero. However, despite his fear, Courage constantly finds himself facing horrifying monsters, dangerous villains, and terrifying situations that most people would avoid at all costs. This contradiction is what makes the show so interesting. Courage is scared, but he never stops trying. He proves that fear does not make someone weak. Instead, the show invites us to rethink what bravery really means. Is courage about being fearless, or is it about choosing to act even when you are afraid? Courage. The Cowardly Dog is an animated television series created by John R. Dilworth, and it is set in a lonely and unsettling place called Nowhere, Kansas. Courage lives on a small farm with his owners, Muriel and Eustace Baga. Muriel is kind, loving, and compassionate, and she treats Courage like family. Eustace, on the other hand, is selfish, cruel, and often enjoys scaring Courage on purpose. This environment makes Courage's life even more difficult, yet he remains loyal and protective of Muriel no matter how badly he is treated. The show blends horror, comedy, and emotional storytelling to explore deep themes such as fear, loneliness, love, and responsibility. Unlike most cartoons where heroes rush into danger without hesitation, Courage reacts the way many real people would. He is terrified. However, the message of the show becomes clear over time. Courage may be afraid, but he never allows fear to stop him from doing what is right. The show teaches us that true courage is not the absence of fear, but the ability to move forward despite it. Throughout the series, Courage is constantly overwhelmed by fear, and the show never tries to hide that fact. He screams loudly, his eyes pop out of his head, and he often runs away when danger first appears. These exaggerated reactions are meant to be humorous, but they also make Courage extremely relatable. Unlike traditional heroes who appear calm and confident, Courage shows fear openly and honestly. He worries about what might happen, imagines worst-case scenarios, and doubts his own abilities. His world is filled with disturbing creatures, including monsters, aliens, and supernatural beings, and he rarely feels safe. Even his own home, which should be a place of comfort, is often full of danger. Courage never pretends to be brave, and he never suddenly becomes fearless. Instead, the show emphasizes how intense fear can feel. By portraying fear in such a raw and emotional way, the show reminds viewers that being afraid is natural. Courage's fear does not make him weak. It makes him human. This message is especially powerful for viewers who may feel ashamed of being scared, as the show teaches that fear is something everyone experiences. Even though Courage is terrified most of the time, he still chooses to act when it matters. After running away or panicking, Courage almost always stops and thinks about Muriel. His love for her pushes him to return and face the danger he tried to escape. This pattern repeats throughout the series and becomes the heart of the show. Courage does not fight monsters because he wants to be brave or because he enjoys danger. He fights because someone he loves is in trouble. Many times, Courage receives no praise or recognition for his actions. Eustace often insults him, and Muriel rarely realizes how much Courage has sacrificed to protect her. Despite this, Courage continues to put himself in harm's way. This shows that true courage is not about being seen as a hero, but about doing the right thing, even when no one is watching. Courage often relies on intelligence, creativity, and persistence rather than physical strength to overcome threats. This reinforces the idea that bravery comes in many forms and does not always involve fighting or violence. The deeper message of Courage, the Cowardly Dog, becomes clear when Courage is compared to traditional heroes. Most heroes are confident, strong, and fearless. They believe in themselves and rarely hesitate before acting. Courage is the complete opposite. He doubts himself constantly and expects failure, yet he still moves forward. By the end of many episodes, Courage has saved the day, not because he was fearless, but because he refused to give up. This reflects real-life situations where people must act despite being scared, such as standing up to bullying, speaking in front of a class, or defending someone who cannot defend themselves. Courage's story reminds us that fear does not disqualify someone from being brave. In fact, courage only exists because fear is present. Without fear, bravery would have no meaning. In the end, Courage the Cowardly Dog reminds us that bravery does not look the same for everyone. Courage never becomes fearless, confident, or powerful, and that is exactly why his story matters. He remains scared, anxious, and uncertain, yet he continues to protect Muriel and face danger whenever it appears. The show teaches us that courage is not about pretending to be strong or hiding fear, but about choosing to do the right thing even when fear feels overwhelming. Courage's actions show that love, loyalty, and responsibility can give someone the strength to act despite their fears. This message is especially important in real life, where many people struggle with fear every day, whether it is fear of failure, judgment, or standing up for others. Courage proves that fear does not make someone weak. It makes their bravery meaningful. So the next time you feel scared or unsure of yourself, remember, Courage the Cowardly Dog. If he can face monsters while shaking and screaming, then maybe we can all find the strength to face our own fears too.